Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I'm back again. I'm going to tell you a little story about how I first came across the program, Doctor Who. Some of you might wonder what does this guy know? What he's talking about Doctor Who and stuff. And well, I'll tell you a little story. Like way back when the Earth first cooled and dinosaurs roamed the Earth back in the 70s. The late 70s. I watched during my time off on one of the weekends. I was flipping through the channels, and back in those days, we had 13 channels to choose from. I know the horror. There's not wasn't hundreds of channels to choose from like there is today, and most of the channels that were run by our local cable company were you would have ABC, NBC, and CBS, and you would have two or three of each of those from different locations. But you could have a couple NBC, but just in different cities or whatever. But so there was those, and you had PBS, which was you'd have one or sometimes you'd have two PBS stations, and there were also independent stations, which they were called at the time, which weren't really affiliated with any of the big three, ABC, NBC, or CBS. They were just independent. And some of the big ones at the time were like WGN out of Chicago, WOR and WPIX out of New York City. And WOR was the one that I happened to come across one time on a Saturday in the morning by chance when I was flipping through the channels and Doctor Who was on. And I didn't know what it was at the time. And this was probably about 1978, I believe. And at that time, they were showing it all. They were showing four episodes or however many episodes there were, all one right after another. And they would have some guy come on. I can't remember his name at the time, but if you look it up, you can find this information out. He would do an intro to the episode, and then at the end of each episode, he would give a little outro or whatever, describing what was going on in the episode and what was coming up and stuff. And I believe the first one I saw, I think it was Pyramids of Mars, maybe. And it just captured my imagination from that time. I hadn't really seen anything like that. I was always been a science fiction fan, but even though some of the sets and stuff were corny or whatever, I just loved it from the first time I saw it. So I kept tuning in. I kept, I made a note of when it was on, and kept watching it each week. They would, once a week. I believe it was Saturdays that they were showing it, and I watched that for quite a while, for many months and stuff, until they just must have dropped it because I couldn't find it anymore on the WOR, the independent channel. So I kept a lookout. I mean, the internet wasn't big in those days. I kept a lookout, and finally, again by chance, came upon it on one of the PBS public broadcasting stations were showing Doctor Who at the time, and that was my next source to keep watching the program. And they were always doing pledge drives to get support, so they'd have enough money to buy the packages that was being made available to them. And I kept watching that. They showed again Tom Baker. I got to see the whole series from beginning to end of Tom Baker, and then they went on to Peter Davison after that. And that was the first time I saw regeneration and it really hit me like, wow. At Tom's last episode, it was really sad. I was, it come on with Tom, and all of a sudden, he was no longer there. But it didn't take long for Peter Davison to grow on me, and then they went back and because it always had the PBS stations that I tuned into always had really good support from the fans. So they actually were very supportive of the program and went back and started showing old, classic way back, back Hartnell and Troughton and Pertwee. And that's how I started, getting to see all those doctors and stuff. And up until, then later after a while, they start repeating certain packages and stuff. And then I saw that, of course, Colin Baker, and then, in the late 80s with Sylvester McCoy, I saw those two. And then I've around 89 or so, I've always been using computers and stuff. And I got online and looked up information and stuff. And as soon as the DVDs became available in the States, I started purchasing them right off the bat, right away. As soon as anything became available, I would research it and find out what was coming out, and I would go get it. And that's how I amassed a collection over, I don't even know how many years now, 15 or more. It's got to be at least that much. Ever since they first became available, I started buying them. So that's how I have the complete series now on DVD, and some duplicates also on Blu-ray. But the only thing I don't have, which I struggled with because I'm a completist and I like to have everything, but I didn't. I had till the end of Capaldi's run. I didn't go out and get any of the Jodie Whittaker series on DVD, but I don't know if I ever will. maybe not. But that's how I know. And all the episodes it's got to be at least a dozen times that I've seen every single episode, some more than others because they're favorites and stuff. But I like to go back and watch them just using the just watching the episode as it is, and then going back and just watching it so I can hear commentaries. There's some very, very good commentaries through all the classic series. You really there's especially through the Pertwee episodes. There's a lot of Katie Manning and stuff that's really, really good. If you go back and listen to their commentaries, and it's just fun, but you learn a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Barry Letts commentary and stuff that's really interesting and nice to listen to. So that's basically what to give you an idea of where I'm coming from, or what what I know about this series and stuff. It's been, like I've mentioned before, like 43 years or so that I've been following the program, and saddened by what's happened in the past few years, but we can hold out hope for something better to come along. And I guess I'm going to wrap this up right now. I'm going to probably head off to bed here pretty soon, but I'm going to try to get off my butt and try to put out some more content. I've been meaning to Uh, really, like a month or so, I've been saying about how I'm going to put stuff up, and then I never do. But I still have tomorrow, and then I'll be off then for the next few days after Friday through Monday. So again, I have a bunch of collections of stuff that I even forgot that I collected Doctor Who magazine, and I have fairly decent representation of it from the 80s, uh, which like I said, I forgot I had, and I have the Doctor Who bulletins, which I collected a lot. I have a whole massive stack of those, and I'm an X-Files fan, and I collected a lot of that stuff. Some of the comics they put, I don't have the complete series of the X-Files, but I do have like the first 2 years or so of that, and a bunch of other peripheral stuff that they put out, like a TV Guide where they had the covers of that, and certain magazines and stuff. So I might, well, not might, I'm going to share my collection of those as soon as I get around to it. So I'm going to wrap it up for now. Thanks a lot, anybody who's listening. I'll talk to you all later. Take care, everybody.